You ever notice how some people just stop coming around the moment you start doing well? They used to be everywhere, commenting on everything, asking questions, showing up. And then something shifted in you, something changed, and suddenly they disappeared, went quiet, backed off without explanation. And your first instinct is to wonder what you did wrong. Stop right there. You didn't do anything wrong, you did something right. And that's exactly what made them leave. Here's what nobody explains to you. Jealous people don't back off because they stopped caring about you. They back off because something you did made you impossible to control. Something you changed made you too dangerous to stay close to. And they felt it before you even noticed it yourself. That's the part that changes everything. Because once you understand what actually makes jealous people back off, you stop doing it by accident and start doing it on purpose. You stop hoping they'll leave and start making it inevitable, not with confrontation, not with drama, not by saying a single word to them, just by becoming someone they can no longer handle being around. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. 5 specific things that make jealous people suddenly back off, the why each one works, and how to do more of it starting today. Here's what you need to understand first. Jealous people don't stay close to you because they like you. They stay close because being near you gives them something. Information, access, a front row seat to your life so they can measure themselves against you. They need proximity to do what they do. Compare, undermine, monitor, compete. Take away that access and you take away their power. But here's the thing most people get wrong. They try to make jealous people back off by confronting them, by calling them out, by going cold or making it obvious they know what's happening. That never works. It gives the jealous person exactly what they want, a reaction. Proof that they still have power over you. What actually works is something quieter, something they can't argue with, can't twist, can't spin into drama. It's you simply becoming someone they cannot touch. Let me show you how. 1. You stop explaining yourself. Picture this. Something good happens for you. A win, an opportunity, a change in your life. You're excited. And before you even think about it, you share it. The details, the backstory, how it happened, what it means for you. Sounds natural. Sounds like what friends do. But watch what happens in the room when a jealous person is listening. Their questions start. Subtle ones. How did that work out exactly? Are you sure that's the right move? I mean, that's great, but have you thought about... And suddenly you're defending your win instead of enjoying it. Justifying your success to someone who never wanted you to have it. Here's what's really happening. Every detail you give a jealous person is ammunition. Not because they'll use it against you directly, but because information is how they stay in control. The more you explain, the more you invite them to judge, evaluate, poke holes. You're handing them the tools to make you feel small about something that should make you feel big. And the moment you stop, they have nothing to work with. When you stop explaining, you stop giving them access to your inner world. Your wins become unassailable because there's nothing to question. There's no plan to critique, no decision to second guess, no vulnerability to find. Try it. Next time something good happens and they start fishing, smile and say, "I'm just really grateful." That's it. Nothing more. Watch their face. They'll push a little, try to get more. Hold the line. Short answers. Warm tone. Zero details. Real people in your life don't need an explanation to celebrate with you. They just celebrate. Jealous people need details because details are their weapons. Stop arming them. 2. You become genuinely unbothered by their opinion, not performing unbothered, not pretending, actually not caring. There's a difference, and jealous people can feel it immediately. When you're pretending not to care, you're still tracking them, still noticing what they said, still bringing it up later, still letting it live rent-free in your head. You might look calm on the outside, but there's still a signal going out. You matter to me enough to perform for. Jealous people feed on that signal. It tells them they still have leverage, that their opinion still holds weight, that they can still affect your mood, your decisions, your sense of self. The moment that signal disappears, they panic, because jealous people don't actually want you to fail as much as they need you to care whether you do. They need to be relevant to you. They need to know that their silence or their coldness or their subtle digs are landing somewhere. An audience that isn't watching can't be performed for. How do you get there? You stop monitoring them. You stop looking for their reaction after you share news. You stop replaying their comments trying to decode what they meant. You redirect that attention to the people who actually show up, to the work, to your own momentum. This isn't something you can fake, but it's something you can build. Every time you catch yourself wondering what they think and choose to redirect, you're building it. Every time you make a decision without checking it against their imaginary approval, you're building it. And when it's real, they feel it. They lose their footing around you. There's nothing to push against anymore, nothing to pierce. So they back off. 3. You keep moving forward without announcing it. Jealous people are time travelers. They need you to stay in the same place they last saw you, same struggles, same limitations, same ceiling, so they can maintain their mental model of who you are and where you rank. When you quietly outgrow that version of yourself, it breaks something in them. Notice the word quietly. This is important. When you announce your growth, post about every milestone, talk about every improvement, tell everyone about the new direction. You give jealous people time to adjust. Time to prepare their undermining. Time to position themselves. Time to start planting doubts before you get there. When you move in silence, they don't see it coming. And when they finally notice how much has changed, it's already done. You're already there. And there's nothing left for them to sabotage. This isn't about hiding your life. It's about understanding that your progress is not a performance for their benefit. Build first. Share when it's real. Not to deprive them, because you genuinely stopped needing their witness to make it count. The effect on a jealous person when they realize you've been moving quietly without them watching? Disorienting. Destabilizing. They can't position themselves against a target that doesn't announce itself. They back off because they realize they've already lost ground they didn't even know was being taken. 4. You stop reacting to their tests. Jealous people test you. Constantly. Small things that seem innocent. A backhanded compliment. Wow, you actually pulled that off? I didn't think you would. A strategic doubt drop. I heard that's harder than it looks. Are people actually seeing results from that? A subtle comparison. Oh yeah, my friend did something similar but bigger. These are tests, not conversations. Tests to see if you're still unsettled enough to take the bait, to see if you'll defend yourself, justify yourself, compete, explain. Every reaction confirms you're still in range, still reachable, still reactive. Here's the trap. The bait always sounds just reasonable enough that responding feels like the normal thing to do. That's intentional. Jealous people are good at packaging their venom as curiosity. When you stop reacting, something strange happens. The test loses its function. It's like a punch thrown at empty air, and there's nothing more disorienting than swinging and hitting nothing. They try again, a little harder, a little more obvious. Still nothing. At some point they run out of escalation, and they leave. So what do you do instead of reacting? You respond briefly and warmly without engaging the bait. Yeah, it's going well. Thanks. Interesting. Smile. Move on. Keep the energy neutral and short. Don't match their energy down. Don't rise to defend. Don't explain why you're not bothered. Just visibly, calmly, not be bothered. Repeated enough times, this trains them that you are not a useful target. There's no reaction to harvest here, and jealous people, more than anything, need a reaction. Without it, there's no reason to stay. 5. You build something real. This is the one that makes them disappear for good. Jealous people thrive in the space between where you are and where you want to be. In your doubt, in your inconsistency, in the gap between your potential and your results. That gap is where they live, whispering that it won't work, that you're not ready, that you're getting ahead of yourself. When you close that gap, when you start actually building something, finishing things, showing up consistently, stacking real results, there's no space left for them to occupy. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be public. It just has to be real. A skill you're actually developing. A project you're actually finishing. A standard you're actually holding. Something tangible that you're becoming. Here's the psychology. Jealous people are threatened by your potential because potential can be undermined. Potential is uncertain. Potential can be talked out of itself. But reality can't be argued with. When you have actual results, actual proof, actual evidence of who you're becoming, the undermining has nowhere to land. They can say, "That probably won't work," before you start. They cannot say it after you've already done it. So build, quietly, consistently, without announcing every step. Not to prove something to them. Because you stopped letting their doubt be a reason to slow down. That's when they disappear completely. Because there's nothing left to undermine, nothing left to question. You've already answered every doubt they were going to use against you. Here's the root of all of it. Jealous people need two things to stay in your orbit: access and relevance. Access to your inner world, your plans, your doubts, your reactions, your need for their approval. And relevance, the sense that their opinion, their presence, their cold shoulder still moves something in you. Every one of these 5 things removes one or both of those. Stop explaining. Removes access. Become genuinely unbothered. Removes relevance. Move in silence. Removes the ability to position against you. Stop reacting to tests. Removes the reaction they need. Build something real. Removes the only gap they could ever occupy. Do all 5, and there is simply nothing left for them to do near you. So here's where you are now. You stop explaining yourself to people who were never happy for you anyway. You stop performing unbothered and start actually becoming it. You stop announcing every move and start letting results speak. You stop reacting to tests that were designed to keep you small. You start building something real that answers every doubt without a single word. None of this requires a confrontation. None of this requires an explanation. None of this requires you to change who you are. It requires you to become more of who you actually are. Clearer, quieter, more certain, more real. And jealous people cannot handle that. Not because they hate you, but because a person who is calm, moving, building, and completely unbothered is someone they cannot compete with, cannot control, cannot reach, so they back off every time. Not because you pushed them away, because you finally stopped making room for them.